Hey everyone, Britta Albert here. If this is your first time here, I'm a spiritual transformational life coach. It's my goal for this channel to help you overcome the obstacles that are standing in the way of you living your best and most authentic life. In today's video, I want to talk about what it means to live your best and most authentic life. The term shadow work describes what happens when you go within and you start to unpack and look at these things about yourself that you've hidden and past pain and trauma that you've buried away. Shadow work is when you go to those places that you don't want to look at within yourself, you don't want to acknowledge are there, and you start to heal those places and you start to unpack all of that junk that's within you that you're holding. You unpack all of that negativity and you start to heal it. And what happens when you heal it is now you are free to have room. It's like having a garage sale, okay? Shadow work is like a garage sale within yourself. What happens when you get rid of all that junk that you don't use anymore that's holding you back and weighing you down? Not only do you feel much lighter and freer, but now you have open and available space within you for the things that you want out of life, the things that you want out of yourself, the person that you ultimately want to be. Now, something that I've never made a video specifically about victim mentality yet, but I've talked about it in many of my videos. When we are in a place of victim mentality, it's always pointing outward. It's what this person did to me. This person hurt me. This circumstance happened to me. I am a victim. I was innocent. I was blameless. I was hurt. This, external happened to me. I had nothing to do with it, or my part in it was little in compared to what I received from this external party. That is victim mode. That is victim mentality. Now, you'll get very triggered if you're in victim mentality, and you'll know you're triggered if this fills you with rage, or it makes you uncomfortable, or it makes you angry. That means you are in victim mentality. I don't say this to point blame at anybody, and I don't say this to say that you're anywhere that you're not supposed to be. But if you are, and you want to get out of there, or you have one foot in victim mentality sometimes, and you're tired of it pulling you down, this is what you do to get out of that and shift out of that. Because with victim mentality and victim mode, it holds you hostage within the story. You are not able to move on. You're that damsel in distress that always needs a Prince Charming to come save her. Well, it's 2020. And, I don't know if you've seen the movie Frozen or not, but there's a reason why that's such a big hit. Because we don't need, speaking more to the female or the divine feminine, we don't need a divine masculine to come in and save us. Or, if you want to look at it this way, we are, no matter if you're male or female, we house the divine feminine and the divine masculine in us. So when it's time for one to come out, we are fully capable of being that for ourselves. The biggest thing, the scariest thing is actually when the divine feminine comes out, because the divine feminine is feeling. And what our society, and most societies in the world, not all, but most of the male dominant societies in the world hate to do is to feel. We have words for it. We have derogatory words for feeling. If a guy feels too much, he's a pussy. If a girl feels too much, she's a bitch. Okay? That is not healthy, and we all know it. Yet, even if you don't participate in that mindset, I'm sure at least once in your life, you have fallen victim to that. It has been said about you, or you've thought it about yourself. Be brave, you tell yourself. Quit being such a pussy. What I'm trying to tell you in this is that when you get out of that victim mentality mindset that you need something external to save you, or there's something within you that you lack, I lack courage, I lack a backbone, I lack whatever. When you finally let go of that, then you can go deep into the root of those belief systems and start to heal it. But you can't even go there. You're not even capable of going down and unpacking this stuff to even have your garage sale. until you get out of victim mentality. You have to, instead of taking your hands off the steering wheel and saying, Jesus, take the wheel, you actually grab hold of that wheel. Grab hold of the freaking wheel of your life and start driving. Start taking responsibility and accountability. We all have things that we're not proud of. We all have things that we're ashamed of. We all have things within us that we're afraid to face, every single one of us. This is your journey. When you have finally let go of victim mentality and you finally start to go within, you will notice that it's just you. All of the monsters that you've been hiding, all of the scary things in your past that you didn't want to face. When you let go of that victim mindset, you'll find that it's just you. I want to give you guys an analogy, but this isn't really an analogy. This is actually a true story that happened to me. And if you haven't seen my supernatural playlist yet to understand, I will just come out here and say it. I am a medium. All of my life, from my earliest memories of childhood, I have experienced entities and ghosts and spirits and different things like that. But the reason I'm bringing this up right now is that it is applicable for this because we are creators. If you look at the last Conversations with God video that I just did, which I'll put the card up above, we are creators, okay? You don't even have to believe that you're a creator to be a creator. You are a creator by birthright. As a human being, you are a creator. We are able to create entities and beings, poltergeist-like activity from our emotions and suppressing our truth. This is why, this is the point of this channel, to help you live your most authentic life. This is finally getting into how do you live your most authentic life? How do you do shadow work? How do you heal these things? And what happens when you don't? Well, I'm about to tell you. Last year, I woke up in the middle of the night to see a girl crouched in the corner of my room. I knew she was not human. I knew she was some sort of entity. Now, if you were to see her based upon your belief system and where you were, you would probably call her a demon, and you wouldn't be too far off. Even though she was crouched up against the wall like she was afraid, it was that feeling like when you have an animal cornered, and if they're scared enough, they're going to lash out and they're going to do everything they can to protect themselves, and they're going to try to kill you. That is what this girl looked like who was huddled in the corner in my room. So if you want to get kind of an idea, here's my bed, and here's the corner of the room right here. I was not very far from her. I could look, I was laying down, I could turn my head. I did not have sleep paralysis. I could have got up if I wanted to, but to get up and run out of the room meant I needed to go closer to her than I actually was, because right in between the corner of my room and my bed is the door. So I was already as far away from her as I really could be in the moment. If I wanted to run out, I would have to go very, very close to her. So what do I do in the moment? I just watched her. And something inside me said to love her, to show her love and show her compassion. And I didn't really know how to do that because I was afraid of her and she felt like a threat to me. She looked like she had greasy black hair, very, very pale skin. I couldn't really see her face. I could just see the eyes filled with hate and fear, as it looked like she wanted to murder me. And in my mind, telepathically, I asked to unmask her. I don't know how I knew that she had a mask, but I knew that what I was seeing was not who she was. And by showing love and compassion to her, her mask came off, and I saw that she was me. She now had my face. I was looking at myself in the corner. And instead of being fearful and angry and on the debating if I was going to fight this thing or not, I had so much more compassion. Like, all it took was just me to have a little bit of love and compassion. And I was still weary of her until I saw it was me. And then all of my walls came down, and I realized that that was literally my shadow self. It was my anxiety. It was my control issues. It was my fear of failure. It was my protective mechanisms that I've built over the years. She was no more evil than I am. She was just me. So when you let go of victim mindset and you start your journey of healing, it's so much easier to let go of the pain that other people cause you. It's so much easier to forgive them. Even if you're stuck in the story right now and you are very much in the narrative of they hurt you and you cannot fathom ever forgiving somebody for the way that they've hurt you. Right now, that's where you're at, and that's fine. That's perfect. You're on your journey. You're where you're supposed to be. This video might not be for you, but down the road, come back when it is. Because there will be a day when you're able to let go of the anger and the blame for somebody else. And when you finally let go of that, and you finally let go of that victim mindset, and then you start to really do the internal healing, you'll realize that it's just you. There's no more fingers pointed outward. And guess what? You don't have to point inward either. There's no judgment on yourself. You'll start to see things for how they were and understand why you made the choices that you made. In each given moment, we all make the best choices that we can with the information that we have at the time. Whether we're on the path of self or we're on the path of service to others, it doesn't matter. In every now moment, you're making decisions based upon the information that you have at the time and which either path that you have decided to go. Service to self or service to others. But when you realize that it's just you and you start to do the healing, this is really where the hard work comes in. And this is really where I recommend to get a coach or get a friend who is there with you, not somebody who's on a different level than you, not somebody who doesn't get where you're at in the process, not somebody who doesn't understand your growth. When I work with my clients, this is exactly where my clients are. I help people, I coach people who are going through this awakening process and this shadow work and this healing within themselves. You may call it a dark night of the soul, but this is my area of expertise. This is what I help people to overcome and get through. To have somebody there with you, holding your hand, helping you navigate through the darkness of your mind as you realize that it's just you. And the reason I keep emphasizing that it's just you is if you're truly honest with yourself, you will understand and you will see that nobody is capable of hurting you more than you hurt yourself. When we find ourselves in abusive relationships, we have a threshold. Our threshold may be really, really low, but we have a threshold. Nobody can ever hurt you more than you hurt yourself. The moment somebody hurts you more than you hurt yourself, end. The relationship is over. They can leave. They can walk away. The abuser has to find where that fine line is between the person that they're abusing and where they are at within themselves. Because as soon as they cross that line and as soon as they hurt you more than you're willing to hurt yourself, you have your value. You will leave. But usually they'll hurt you just at that line, just below, and that's why you think you deserve it, or they're gaslighting you and you're making you feel like you're crazy. It's because they haven't reached that threshold yet. But the moment you get out of victim mode, the moment that you understand and you can let go of the pain that other people have put you through, you're only left with yourself. And it's so much more difficult to forgive yourself and let go of these belief systems that you tell yourself, the narrative you tell yourself. This is what you look at yourself in the mirror every day and you tell yourself, what are those thoughts? You're not going to be perfect, okay? You're not going to be perfect the first time that you try this. But it's baby steps. Just like when you're losing weight. Just like when you're building muscle. Just like when you're doing anything, you're learning a new skill. You start somewhere. Everybody has a beginning. The sooner you get through your beginning, the sooner you can get to where you want to go. You've got to get through that beginning. And you don't beat yourself up because you're still thinking negative thoughts about yourself. You congratulate yourself because now you're conscious and aware and you just caught yourself thinking that negative thing about yourself. And now you can stop that narrative slowly. When you decide that you are worth fighting for, you will find that you are worth working with. What I mean by that is when you have let go of what everybody else has done to you and you've let go of that victim mode and that victim mentality and you've come to the realization that at the end of the day, all it is you, internally, you healing your beliefs and opinions and ideas about yourself, you will become much more willing to work with you instead of fighting against you. The more you do it, the easier it becomes. The more conscious you are of your thoughts, the easier it will be to catch them and change the narrative. If you're watching this video and you are ready to take that next step, then you are my ideal client. If you want assistance, I have a free 30-minute definition session. In the description below, there's a link to my calendar. Feel free to click that and let's chat. Let's have a phone conversation. And then we can figure out, are we a good fit together or not? And if not, it may be a blessing to you. And if you're not sure if you're ready yet, that's okay. These videos are still coming. They're still going to continue to come. If we work together or if we never work together, this is for everyone. But I do have a specific clientele that I am working with, and it's people that are specifically here who are ready to do the work. You can do the work, yes, absolutely. I did it, but I also had help. I also had my own coaches. It's not that I couldn't do it, but here's the thing, okay? Imagine that you're in a new city and you're driving around and you want to go to a certain grocery store. Just pretend that we don't have maps, we don't have GPS on our phones. So you could either keep driving around and going around in circles and potentially give up because you're frustrated, or just keep going and be persistent until you reach your destination. Eventually you'll get there. I don't know how many tanks of gas it might take driving around, but eventually you'll get there, right? Or you can speak with somebody like me who's a coach who can give you directions and then you're there immediately. That's the difference between doing this on your own and working with somebody. You can do it, absolutely. There's nothing wrong with doing your own journey. But if you want assistance, I'm ready to work with you. If this is your first time here, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and also hit that bell notification so that you never miss out on a future video. I love you guys so much and I hope that you have a great day. See you next time.